Yeah, no, I think just pretty interesting. I mean, one guy that we haven't really gotten here to yet, and he's actually, I think he has a argument for one of the most. I think he's kind of being underrated by some segments of draft Twitter, or even somebody who's probably higher on boards, NBA boards, than like draft Twitter, draft community boards. But what are you doing with Jalen Duren, and like what do you project for him? Because he's one of these guys where like in a couple years, if he came out a couple years ago, possibly I could see a world where like regardless of what happens, he ends up like a top 5 pick just because his tools are that tantalizing. And if you like, Jesus, I don't know. I feel like I'm hallucinating, but no, I mean it's just that might just be like early morning shit. But there was a picture of him. I think what was he working out for? He was working out for somebody, and like you just see like muscles on muscles. The kid is absolutely ripped for like I think he's like what 18 or just turned 19. But what are you doing with Jalen Duren, and what do you kind of project him at the NBA level?
He's that dude, man. He's a guy. I would take him top five. I think he's going
Yeah,
to be a
he's
top seven starter or top seven center in the league. I have him five right now. I flip flop back and forth between him and AJ Griffin at 5 and 6. And we talked about narrowing in that the range of outcomes. And there, when you are, he's not going to turn 19 until November. He played this entire year at a very, very young 18. And production at 18 and as a freshman is just like such a floor raiser. People talk about ceiling with Duren, but like his floor is ridiculously high just by nature of being a productive 18-year-old in college. And when you put that with the movement skills, like he moves really, really well for a big. He's got flashes of passing. He's not a good passer right now, but he tries it. He's 18. I don't care. Like at that point, I just want to see the flashes on a bad, or let's say a weirdly constructed Memphis team where he was
to say the
put
least.
in. Yeah, he did have a point guard, and he was playing with like two centers at all times in Minot and Williams, and he flashed passing. He's one of the best movers for size in this class, and he did it all at 18. I think that you're right that whether it's draft Twitter or NBA teams or whoever's low on him, if you, I think that he's a pretty lock top 8 pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's like a potential star. I think outside of the top 4, he's the most likely potential star in the class. I'm a huge Duren guy.
Yeah, like I love Mark Williams, and like just tinkering on the final touches of the board. I'm like, all right, we're kind of getting a little too cute here for putting him over Durant. I love Mark. Mark was the Mark Paolo 2-man game was incredible, and like I think that just shows like if you give like pair Mark Williams for somebody who could pass, and I think he's gonna have a pretty good career. But yeah, the stuff that Jalen Duren can do is just next level. I think he has a completely different upside as a prospect. So yeah, I mean, you gotta just
We
talk
talked
me into
about
something.
Yeah, sorry. We talked about
No, go
Cal
ahead.
putting guys in weird spots for being a prospect. Like Duren was in a weird prospect spot at 18, and he made it work. He was like ridiculously productive for being cast with two different centers and no point guard. They had Bates like running the show for the first 12 games, and he couldn't throw an entry pass to save his life. And he was in a weird spot and was
Oh
way more
man.
productive than he had any business being. I think I'm in. I'm glad you brought him up because I've just been waiting to gush about Duren to somebody.
That
Raz, now go ahead, Raz.
Nah, that Imani. Every time somebody says Imani Bates, I wanna like throw myself out the window just because it's like one, he's very talented, but the point guard Imani Bates experiment was not anything we needed to see. Nobody needed to see that, and it hurt Memphis for those first 12 games. Like
It
that
hurt
injury,
Emoni too.
that fucking injury that he had saved Memphis season, unfortunately, right? Like to say that to say that, like, and I'm never here to hate on children. Because these kids are children. They're literally kids. But he should have went to Michigan State. So that that's where I'm at with it. But no, Duren is. I think he has the ability to become a better rebounder than he already is, right? And I think some of his rebounding got cannibalized just due to the roster makeup of that. And I think to see him on the next level as someone who has the ability to get stronger, as scary as that is, because he, like Sean said, that picture that came out with him working out, like it looked like David Robinson. So it's like one of those things where it's like, does he continue to get stronger? His instincts will get better, and like you guys said, he's 18. He doesn't turn 19 until the season starts, and the season would have already started. So his ceiling is high, his floor is high. Now it's just like where are we now in the NBA? A process of where are we taking him? Because we love to say, people love to say the big man is dead, but like we're seeing it right now. We're seeing it like they're not. Either you're super effective on the low post with rebounding, blocks, and help defense, or you're a Jokic or an Embiid right now. So like there's two molds of centers, and he's probably gonna fit the former, the first one I just mentioned, but like he has, the sky's the limit for him.
Hey man, I mean, CJ, you just triggered me before when you brought up entry passes and Amani Bays, because I had a thought like recently I was like, yo, these kids, like a lot of kids don't know how to throw an entry pass anymore, and I'm like, I was never like, I'm not even good at basketball. The one thing I could do is throw a pretty good entry pass. So I'm just like, man, Raz, we losing recipes over here, man. Entry pass is like, that's like day one fundamentals that you should be able to take, man. So that took me back to a dark place. But yeah, we could wrap